Hey everybody, Shayne from PROSHARP in Massachusetts, United States. We are in the midst of our third snowstorm this week, so I'm getting a little bit tired of this snow. I think we're over close to 25 inches in the last 3 snowstorms this week, so shoveling is getting a little bit old. But nonetheless, we maybe give us some other outdoor activities, skiing, whatnot. But today we're here with my colleague Ryan Palmer, and we're just going to go over a little bit of the how to set up your PROSHARP Home for Channel Z sharpening. I know we've got a lot of questions with the sale of our home machine here in the last couple years as far as what Channel Z is and how to do it and how to execute it on their home machine. Now remember, all of our machines execute the Channel Z sharpening, but this demonstration is specifically for the PROSHARP Home and how to sharpen on the PROSHARP Home. What you have to remember when we're getting set up for Channel Z sharpening, it's very important to make a lesser hollow, if you will, or increase your hollow from anywhere from 20 to 25%, depending on the width of the channel. We have a small width of 0.75 and a medium width of 1.0 millimeters wide. And this is essentially, here's our regular wheel, if you will. And then this is our diamond channel wheel. And remember, like I mentioned earlier, it's very, very crucial to increase your hollow or give you more glide with that specific hollow. So you want to go from, essentially, if you're skating on a 1/2 inch, we'll use these 2 examples. If you want to skate on a 1/2 inch, you're going to sharpen first with a 5/8 wheel and then add your channel. And then for another example, you're going to sharpen with 5/8. Or sorry, if you're currently skating on 5/8, you're going to sharpen with 3/4 and then add your channel. And that's going to give you the same bite, because it's going to essentially have 4 edges on it and give you the same feeling as skating on the 5/8. So those are the 2 examples we're going to work with. But right now, that's a little bit about the Channel Z, and then we're going to take you into the sharpening mode and making sure you're testing that the channel is going to go down the center of your blade correctly. So I'm going to switch my camera over here, right here, and bring out the machine. And here's my colleague, Ryan Palmer.
Hey,
you guys seen this guy before from PROSHARP. He's our Chief Technical Officer, does a real good job fixing machines and explaining the ins and outs of the machine.
So, ideal world, obviously the channel should be centered on the skate blade. We're going to show you kind of how to check to make sure it is centered down the blade. If it's a little bit off or it swerves off according to the heel or toe, there might be some issues in terms of your holder or your bent skate blade, essentially. But as long as it's not hitting the inside or the outside edge, you should be pretty safe in terms of performance-wise. But ideal world, it is best to have it down the middle. We're going to run a simple test just like we do with our calibration for our home wheel to make sure it is centered to the clamp steels. So essentially I have the skate blade in. Ideal world would be an old skate blade, not your player skate blade that you're going to be skating on. So we're just going to skip the step of actually sharpening right now and just show you the actual movement of the Channel Z here. So I got an old skate blade in. I'm just going to press the button here. I'm going to keep my finger on the button and let it touch the heel area, and then send it back home. So I'm not going the full length of the blade. Obviously, if this is an old beat up blade, yeah, just run it the full length. That way you can kind of see where it is centered perfectly. This old blade, it might be hard for you guys to see here on camera. I probably should have put a marker on to show you better. Here, let's do that real quick. Give you a better visual. But I'm just using the heel of my blade, pretending like I'm at the rink and I need to put a channel in, essentially for a game, but I didn't have a used blade to use. We'll run it again to show you so you get a better visual. So obviously this channel line is pretty close to my outer edge here. This definitely needs to move. Obviously, if this is your normal regular blade, you'd probably have to sharpen this blade again. after you kind of get where the center is on the channel Z. But right now, the channel's too far in the machine. Like we talked about with the grinding wheel, it needs to come out towards us. So we go to our adjustment knob here, and left, if you're looking from the power end over here, left counterclockwise moves the wheel out, right clockwise moves the wheel in. And this one's probably 4 or 5 clicks off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I moved it 5 clicks. We're gonna run the same test here and see if it's centered. Same thing, press the button. And then I press the button again to return it home. So this, a little bit better, but I might need one more click to get it right in terms of being perfectly down the middle here. But this would be a safe, suitable in terms of performance-wise, but if you want to get really precise and accurate, I can move it one more click and be pretty comfortable with that. And then, obviously, the next step, once you get it centered, is to actually put your normal channel in for skate blade. At ProSharp, we really recommend probably about 5 cycles to put in the channel performance-wise. There are some people out there that will cut a deeper channel. They'll actually add more cycles than 5. Performance-wise, the deeper that channel goes into the blade, it's not helping at all in terms of performance-wise, but it's probably going to save you a little bit of time in terms of sharpening in between the channels. So keep that in mind. And then we'll just pretend here, so we're not sitting here for 5 cycles down and back, but we'll go 1 cycle. One cycle, we're not going to have a huge imprint in terms of our channel, but essentially the channel needs to get cleaned up just like you would after sharpening wise. Where we use our polishing hone would be an ideal fit for our channel. It's not going to hurt your edges if you are rubbing up against it. Essentially it's good just to angle it down to remove the burr that the channel Z wheel's created. Usually go up and down, and then you're good to go in terms of your sharpening here. Lastly, just like our grinding wheels, you can always clean the channels or the grinding wheel using the polishing hone as well. So if you were to start this, press the button, and then we could dab our polishing hone right on the wheel to help kind of clean up that debris that's sitting on the channel wheel after so many channels sharpenings.
Thanks, Ryan. Good demonstration there. And again, I'll field the questions coming through in a minute here. I'll just tell you a little bit about our skating experience with the channel. I know Ryan and his son, they skate on, I believe it's inch and a half with a large channel. I skate on an inch and a half with a large channel, and my son skates on an inch hollow with a large channel. So when you really think about their efficiency and glide and less work, not digging into ice, staying on top of the ice, and just being in better shape for the third period, it's amazing performance, the Channel Z from ProSharp.